My ex, 29F, is suing me for child support for a kid that isn't mine, 31M. Infidelity. A bit of history. We were together for 7 years. She got pregnant 2 years into the relationship with a child I presumed to be mine. 6 months ago, we got into a heated argument, and she admitted that the kid wasn't mine and that she had cheated on me and gotten knocked up by someone who we both know. I had been raising someone's daughter for 4 years. I left that night and came to pick up my stuff the following day. She immediately got into my face and started screaming at me and insulting me. I tried to walk past her, but she wouldn't let me. She grabbed a drink from the counter and threw it at me. I slapped her hard across the face. She called the cops and started ripping her clothes to make it seem like I did it. I didn't notice because I walked outside to wait for the police. When they showed up, she started crying heavily and gave them an exaggerated story of what happened. Due to the red mark on her face, the ripped clothing, and her creativity, they decided to arrest me. I spent the next 4 months going to court trying to fight it. Ultimately, my not-so-cheap lawyer kept me from spending time behind bars. I acquired a criminal record and got booted from my job. Now I've been served with new papers to appear in court. She is trying to get child support from me, even though I'm not the biological father. She claims that I knew this all along and that I agreed to raise the kid as my own. I'm heavily in debt from my previous court case, and I have no money to afford a lawyer. I'm also currently unemployed. I love that kid, but I don't feel it's right that I should support her. Do you guys think I should do it or not? TLDR. Ex cheated and got knocked up by another man. Ended up telling me 5 years later and is now trying to get child support from me. Have no money left to try and fight it. Thinking of whether I should just agree and pay, as I do feel bad for the kid. The thing is, a couple months after getting my job, my ex contacted me. She first asked me to talk. I believe that she may want to reconnect or something, but she showed up with a 5-year-old child, claiming he was my son and demanding for child support. I didn't believe her, but the child age matched the time since we cut contact. I got advice from a lawyer, a friend of mine, to try to solve this out of the court. I offered to take responsibility, pay all the costs, and being an active part of the kid's life, only after making a DNA test. Everyone was okay with this except for my ex. She acted offended and demanded to just give her the money she deserved. She used all the excuses she could, even contacted my family to told them I was trying to avoid taking responsibility of her child. When she run out of excuses, and the DNA test was finally made, and surprise, I'm not the father. She was so mad with the result and cried about the money, saying it was unfair and she deserved it. But she didn't accomplish anything. Moving on to the last week, there was a little party on my parents' house. My brother, a friend, and I were talking, and my brother started to joke about the situation with my ex. My friend and I started to joke about it too. Some of our comments were a little dark and bad, but we were far away from the rest of the people. Literally, we were on the opposite side of the house, and nobody else could hear us. At least that was what we thought. We were laughing like crazies when my sister appeared very angry and pushed me against the wall. She spied us and heard our conversation, and she was really mad. She started to yell at us about how horrible people we were for being mocking of a poor woman. Few hours later, when the party ended, she asked me to go to the kitchen with our parents, and she started to say how awful I was for the previous situation. Apparently, my ex had been in contact with her, and she believed her version, and that was her way to have an intervention. My brother and I were like, "Are you serious?" When she started to say how I forced my ex into be a single mother, and that I have the moral obligation to help her. My dad only said that we maybe were being too cruel making jokes of her, but that I wasn't responsible for that kid. My mom then surprised all of us when she said, "Even if the kid is not yours, you are making more than enough money to support that child. You should have helped her." Since then, I had been receiving texts. My dad and my brother are on my side, saying I'm not responsible for her, but my sister is telling me how horrible I am for being ruining their lives. My mom only said, "It's your decision and I respect it. I'm just very disappointed that you ended up being so selfish. I'm aware that she doesn't deserve my money and am not planning to give her any, but the constant harassment of my sister trying to guilt me, it's just exhausting."